Hey guys, so today I'm here with my wife Risa, and we wanted to do this kind of thing for a while where we just kind of talk to you guys and explain a bit about who we are, our relationship, how we came to this place, what we do. So we have some questions for you, we'll just run through them. Some will be funny, some will be embarrassing, and we will see what happens. So here we go.
I'm excited. Let's do this. Question number 1, how have I changed you?
How have you changed me? Ooh. I think you've shown me what it's like to really be with my best friend. And I don't know if that's, as in, this just seems like a cop-out, but I didn't know that that was possible. I think I've been in lots of relationships in the past where a lot of things have been good, but not everything, or not all the things that I've wanted. And I feel like, I tell you this all the time, but I feel like with you, I'm actually with my best friend.
We were just having this conversation last night.
We literally just talked about this.
Yeah.
Well, what about you? How do you think I've changed you?
I think, well, number 1, you've helped me become more articulate and vocal about my feelings and how to express them.
You've gotten much better.
Yeah, you tell me that too, which is nice. I don't really see that, but I guess I'm getting better at communication, which is nice to hear.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same when we started dating because it
was not.
Very emotional. Duh, why don't you just understand? Duh, I can't do this anymore, kind of thing. And then now, like, I've taken, I've learned from the pro and breaking down the points they want to get across. So, guys, when I talk to my husband now, I'm like, so, baby.
Here are my 3 points I want to make.
Here are my 3 points I want to make today.
There it is. Do we ever get into fights? And if so, who wins?
Well, to be honest, I don't think we necessarily get into fights. We argue sometimes. We both disagree. Yeah, disagreements. I mean, we both have very strong personalities and views on things. So we're like, wait, but I don't agree with what you're saying. Then it becomes this like, debate, if not, of like what's right or wrong. But who starts them?
I'm not giving an answer. That's not an answer. That's not an answer. I'm not giving.
Okay. Well, I admit that I tend to voice them first, but when it becomes like intense, he gets pretty intense.
I do get pretty intense.
Yeah, you get pretty heated.
I've said this to you many, many times, and I think this is something that's worth mentioning. If it weren't for you being so different than me, I don't think a relationship could work.
Oh yeah.
So I think like if we were the same, it would be chaos. Like you would be like, you'd have your 3 points, and I'd have my 3, and then I would list my 3, and then you'd list your 3 points.
You'd
list your 3, like your 1A and 1B and 1C, and then your 2A and 2B and your 3, and it would be so intense.
Who are we?
Actually, that's how Leo and I communicate. For reference, Leo. That's how you and I are in a relationship, and that's why we would never work in a relationship. The one thing that does sometimes happen is sometimes you get too frustrated to talk, and then you go, I can't do this right now. And then I still want to get into it, and then I'm like, but
I don't want to do bullet points right now.
Exactly. Then you're just like, I can't.
That's true.
That happens.
That's true. Sometimes.
Who does the cooking and cleaning?
I do the cooking mostly. 85.9% of the time.
And the cleaning?
You do the cleaning all the time. I don't like cleaning.
I think it's a good balance. I think if we wrote everything out, it works itself out. There's a really good, not necessarily gender-specific balance.
Completely.
Which I really like.
Yeah, I feel like we do what we enjoy doing the most, which is amazing. Because I never feel stressed about having to do any household chores. I'm not like, oh my god, I have to make dinner. Like, it's never like that. Do you have any parenting secrets?
I don't. I think if there's one thing...
Oh, okay.
The values board. So when we moved in here together in March, one of the first things we did, I think it was within the first 2 weeks of being here, is we created the family values list, which is this. And the idea behind this is that, so on our family value list is love, nature, helpfulness, education, thoughtfulness, trying our best, the pursuit of happiness, respect, individuality, and then health. And here you have Luna, Risa, myself, and Joshua. Made March
By
30th.
Luna.
Made by Luna on March 30th. I think we did it like mid-March, and then she made this a few weeks later.
Yeah.
So basically the idea is that by creating family values, we have this way of working around anything, because everything kind of falls back to the family values. So basically the idea is that the way we created these is that, again, mid-March or whatever, we kind of sat down at the dinner table after dinner, we all had a pen and pencil, and we went through, I think it was 3 different kinds of values. We went through Japanese values, like each person wrote whatever they thought were Japanese values, American values, and then we actually did Kenyan values as well, which obviously the kids and Risa don't know personally anything about, but it was still kind of interesting to bring our cultures together and kind of see what would be things that we value culturally. I was also not born in Kenya, but being like Kenyan American, I feel like that's a part of who I am. So, so anyways, we made a list of these 3 things, and then from that list, we had maybe 15 words total on our paper or more. From that list, we created the United 10 family values. And then from these values, we were able to build out our rules. So, which has been really, really, really effective.
Oh my god, life-changing.
It's been amazing. So anyway, so when we made our kind of rules for the house, we were able to use these family values to help design how also like punishments or consequences would go. So if somebody's not being respectful, then that would be breaking the family values, and as a result of that, there'd be some kind of like repercussion that we all agreed on. So it wasn't like I made it up or mom made it up. We would all collectively agree on like what was the most appropriate repercussion for, you know, doing whatever. So like Luna punches Josh in the face, and then that's not being respectful or thoughtful. So what do we think is an appropriate punishment or repercussion for that? And then like as a family, we decided on that.
I think that's really important, the fact that we decided together. So when the kids have a fight and like Luna punches Josh in the face, and you're like, well,
which happens a lot.
I mean,
less
9.
now, but
yeah, 11 and 9. So. But like it just brings it back to the family values, and we're like, do you properly, you know, do all these things?
Yeah.
If not, like what can we change? And so it's not like shame on you, because we sort of agreed on it beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah. So to keep it simple, I think having the children play a part in the rules that govern our household gives them a sense of ownership over not only their actions,
empower your children.
Yeah, but also their consequences. So it basically empowers them. So then when Luna does something to Josh, or when Josh does something to Luna, or they do something to us, they know what they've done, and they know what rules or what values it's either aligned with or misaligned with, and then they know what the consequences are, and we've all agreed on them. So they may not like it, like they may not like doing timeout, or they may not like having to wash the dishes, or you know, whatever their like consequences for what they do, but they understand why it happened, and they took a part in making the rule, so they own it too. So like before we even tell them what's going to happen, they already know what's going to happen, because the moment they did the action, they know what the consequence is. And I think that's been really helpful. And yeah, so I would say giving your children, to summarize this long explanation, I would say giving your children a voice is huge, massive.
Okay. Who is more fit?
Who is more fit? I'm going to answer this right now. Risa, actually. Probably even pregnant. What I mean is, like, if we were the same height and weight and like had the same amount of muscle mass, like who would be more fit? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I would definitely win.
I think you would win. Like, I think if we were, so if I were her height and weight and all that, I think she would like mentally push herself harder than I would, and then she would win. Like, no matter what the thing is. What's even better than great sex?
Ooh. That's tough. It's better than great sex. I mean,
are there things better than great sex?
I'm not sure. If there are.
Maybe we haven't discovered them yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I'm pretty sold on the great sex. Sex is important, guys.
Who is more competitive?
Me.
Typically, if we're just doing something, like something random, like if she's like, oh, let's race up the stairs, then like, I'm not invested. But like, she's much more invested, and so I think
it'll have an impact on my day.
Yeah, like if we race up the stairs and I like race seriously, I'll probably beat her up the stairs, and I will beat her up the stairs, and then
oh, it's so not true.
And then she'll be like upset at me, or like not upset, but like, there'll be like a thing there. I don't have that at all.
I don't like losing, and I think it's really frustrating for myself when I see someone doing better.
Yeah.
And knowing that I can do better,
yes.
but I'm not.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely
Pet
understand.
peeve. What do I do that makes you the happiest?
Oh, cooking. Oh my god, cooking.
No.
100% cooking. Is it not
listing.
cooking?
No, list
Is
it
it not
off.
cooking?
No, keep listing it off.
It's not
List
cooking?
it. No, I'm just...
You just
I'm
want all
pretty
the
sure-
things?
Yeah, I just want all the things.
Oh, okay. It is cooking, but she wants more things. So, okay. Cooking, massages. Oh, you do this adorable. She does this adorable thing. Baby, you do the thing. Okay, she does this insanely adorable thing. When she comes home from somewhere and she hasn't seen me all day. So, like yesterday as a prime example. She comes home, she's like wearing a backpack, especially now it's cold, she's got her like hoodie on or like down jacket, and she like starts wiggling out of her clothes. So she like wiggles off her backpack, wiggles off her jacket, and then like takes off this, and then she just like takes off her pants, like takes off basically everything, and then she just jumps on me. And she just like nestles herself, like just starts like puppying her way into my arm. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. In the middle of work, I could be on a phone call. She's just like, it's probably the single cutest thing that's ever. I actually I cried. Do you remember I cried? Guys, I cried. So she did this like 2 or 3 days ago, and it was so
unexpected.
cute. It was so cute.
Unexpected.
It was next level adorable. Like I just can't. I think what I said to you is, whenever you do this kind of thing where you, like you want love like that, and like it's so cute.
It's sort of forced.
Whenever you do this kind of thing, I feel myself fall in love with you again, like again and again and again. And so she does it, like mind you, she does this basically daily. Like this happens like, all the time when she comes back, and every time it happens, I'm just reminded of how much.
I'm so happy to see you.
It's
my
really,
best friend,
really cute.
and I really love. Like it's the highlight of my day.
It's really, really cute.
Yay! I get
So then it makes me wonder, like, what happens if you stop doing that at some point? But like seriously, like at some point in the future, you're just like, we get like old and cranky, like 10 years in a relationship, you come home and you're like, and I'm like, does that become a thing?
Is that a thing?
Maybe that's a thing. I hope it's not a thing. What do you dislike most about me?
It's not disliking, but there are 2 things.
Oh my god, 2. We've got the list. Communication.
There are 2. Point A and point B.
Here we go. All right.
So, first one is that you take more time getting ready than I do. So me being the girl, like makeup and hair and dressing up and all, that's probably one.
True, by the way.
It was
there are
surprising.
excuses and reasons, but I'm just going to save them, but it's true.
Point B.
Point B.
Point B. You have these really intense self-talks when you fuck up something.
Ooh.
And I just try to remove myself because I know, like, maybe it's gonna be okay, or like you didn't mess up, or like none of those words mean anything to you. So I've sort of learned over time that it's just like give him space and let him process and get angry, and he'll be fine in like the next 30 minutes or an hour. When I didn't know that, it was intense because you're not an angry person usually, but in those moments, you're like a very like extremely angry person. So that was a little scary and something that we should work on.
She's taking me to therapy. And then you, what do I dislike about you? Ooh. The only thing, and you already know this because I told you, it's the only thing is that when we have conversations that are heavy, sometimes if you feel attacked or if you feel like cornered, which I probably do, so like that's probably my fault.
He's very good at it too.
If you feel attacked or cornered or any of that, you either become like distant or defensive.
That's probably very true.
And that's the one thing that kills me. And because oftentimes I'm trying to like resolve something, and so I'm going through my like point 1, 2, and 3, and then here you are like offended, and you're like, and I've checked out of this conversation, and then here I am like, no, but we're in point like 2B, and we're almost there. And you're like, I don't want to talk about 2B. Yes. What would be a deal breaker for our relationship? So this is like something you wouldn't be able to forgive. I already know this answer. You already told me.
Cheating. I think once it even like expecting something to be there would...
Suspected cheating?
Yes.
What? What if you just have a feeling?
No, but I'm always right.
You what?
If it were something, it's babe. Mind you guys, this has never happened between us.
What?
So you're safe, but like it's you just sort of know sometimes if something's going down or like something's a bit fishy.
Okay.
And you're like,
I think with like flirting and stuff, yes, but I don't know. I think with flirting and feelings and stuff, yes. That I agree with, but the cheating thing, I think it's probably harder to know, but I would agree. Yeah, I'd probably that would be the deal breaker.
What is the best way to raise children?
I think if our children know like love for themselves and others, and that like they have a voice and like they have the power to manifest whatever they want for themselves. And I think that's like the single most important thing. On top of that, obviously our values, education, health, all that good stuff.
I've learned over time, like living with you, that hand-holding and doing everything for them isn't in their best interest. Yeah. And it's most oftentimes just the ego for the mom or the parents. I made this
Oh my
awesome
god, hearing you
dinner.
say this is amazing. You've never said this. This is wonderful. This is a moment, guys. This makes it all worth it.
I thought, but honestly, like for the first half of raising the kids, I thought like doing things for them was making me a good mom, and therefore it was good for them as well. Yeah. But they've changed so much over the past maybe 3 years when you came into our lives, and it was eye-opening to see that you don't have to do that and you can still empower them in a way that they can now become the people they want without our help.
Correct. Yeah, the idea is, it's like a parable. I think it's a parable, but it's the idea that if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, but if you teach a man to fish, then you feed him for a lifetime, I think. Or you you feed a village. And the idea, I've always, and I get this from my dad. My dad's a hardcore, like, go figure it out yourself person. But because of that, and I love that about him because it forced me to, like, figure things out on my own and then grow. A perfect example, actually, it was like 2 days ago, Luna's door handle broke off her door because kids. And then she took the door handle and she put it into her room because she didn't want to lose the door handle, again, because kids. Then she closed her door somehow, and then she couldn't open her door because the door handle was in her room. So she comes downstairs and she's complaining to me, and she's like, Daddy, I can't open my door, and like, I need your help. And I'm like, no, you don't need my help. Like, you can figure out how to open your door. So she like goes upstairs, she gets toilet paper, and she's like trying to open it. She comes downstairs, she's complaining, she's like stomping around, being grumpy. I asked her, I said, Luna, have you tried using any tools? And she said, yes. She told me with the toilet paper. I said, like, have you tried using any real tools? And she said, no. I said, why don't you try that? So she like goes over to the toolbox, brings it upstairs, and like 5 seconds later, she opens the door using the tools. She comes back downstairs, and I stopped her, and I was like, Luna, what did you learn? And she goes, like, not to complain, but to try, and sometimes use tools. And I was like, my job as a parent it's just like time. But it's like
have
those.
To do anything there.
Yeah, but it's those moments. I think they just like those little moments stack for kids, and you either do everything for them. Like she could just come downstairs and be like, "Daddy, my door won't open," and then I run upstairs and open the door for her with tools, or I like give her the opportunity to like struggle a little bit and then like be creative and thoughtful and then do it herself, and then she learns, and then next time she won't like rely on Daddy to help her open the door. And I think that applies to like, so many other things. Yeah. There's obviously a fine line between like helping and then like leaving your kids out there to just figure things out on their own when they're not capable. But yeah, in all the ways that they are capable, my desire is for them to learn how to do things on their own so that they don't have to rely on me or mom or grandma or grandpa or anyone, and that they can like be as self-sufficient as possible, kind of as early as possible.
I think that's a big topic that needs to be discussed in Japan. That should be a whole different
conversation.
Yeah. What is one experience you wish we had never had?
Ooh. What is one experience I wish we had never had? Oh, so very early on in our relationship, I told you something because I was being honest, and I wanted to be honest, even like very early in the relationship. But it was something that you like didn't want to know, or like didn't want to hear. Okay. And so I told it to you, and you like immediately started crying, and it was like, it created this like hard part of our relationship. I can't make it that specific, but it was very early on in our relationship. Like within the first month of our being together. Just like 20.
Ooh, I think I
Remember?
know.
You remember?
Okay, I remember now. See, I forget all the bad things.
I shouldn't have said, guys, lesson, don't bring up the past. Look what I just did.
I don't even remember.
So that would be the one thing.
Oh.
Because it made me feel really bad. Technically, just so we're clear, she's gonna debate this, but it's true. Technically, I didn't do anything wrong, technically. But like, on an emotional level, I get why it was bad. And I wanted to be like completely honest. And I was, but it like didn't get the desired result. Not desired result, but like it was it ended up being like worse than I had thought it would be. I was like, I'm gonna be really honest, and then I was, and then it like was bad. But I was honest. No,
Sometimes things are better not said.
Is that it? Did you just hear that? Did we hear that?
Sometimes.
Did we all hear this? Sometimes things are better not said. Guys, from the mouth of Risa. I don't necessarily agree with that. But I mean, I get it. I can agree with that too. That makes sense. What about you?
They're humorous things that I wish like didn't happen, but it's...
Well, what are humorous things you wish didn't happen?
This was in the beginning of our relationship too.
Oh my god!
I mean, if I could choose between that happening and not happening...
Man! Wait, I feel like I can speak to this without speaking to it. Guys, so she's getting uncomfortable. Beginning of our relationship, I'm just gonna say this. I'll keep it vague, but it's worth alluding to. Beginning of our relationship, go back. I had a stalker once. She actually wasn't Japanese. I'll say the details, but she wasn't Japanese. She just happened to live in Japan. And this was a person that I had met when I was very, very young. And like young, like maybe 11 or 12 or something. And obviously nothing happened at 11 or 12 or 13 or whatever years old. But this person really, really liked me, I guess. And so skip forward to being like 30 or 28 or something. I think it was about 28. Wow, maybe 27? 27, 28. I'm 33 now. Anyways, this person ends up coming to Japan, and we end up connecting through terms that are like completely unrelated to affection, just like through like oh yeah, we met when we were younger, of course you should come, we can like grab dinner and whatever. And at the time I was dating this ex. So anyways, so skip forward to through that being really bad, her being obsessive, me calling the police, like everything going wrong, it being bad. Still nothing's happened, like nothing between us, nothing intimate at all. Skip forward to us starting to date 2.5 years ago. And basically this person rocks up to my old apartment where she had come before and like essentially harassed me, rang the doorbell, I had to call the police on her, and did the same thing. And it was within the first few weeks of us dating. And so to make a long story short, it was really, really traumatic for her because like we just start dating and then my doorbell starts ringing. And I hadn't heard from said stalker in like over a year. And then doorbell rings and I go to the door. Again, without getting the full story, basically doorbell rings and then it just gets like bad. And that day results in like us calling the police and then like going to the police station, like the whole thing. And we like just started dating. And so she's like, I can imagine you're thinking like, who the hell is that person? But also like, who are you that you have this kind of person?
Stalker.
So it was pretty intense. That was a really, yeah. And the way it actually happened was like just next level. It's something that like I would have to tell you in person if any of you are interested in knowing. It's way too graphic for this.
It's so graphic.
So I hope you guys like this, and we haven't come to you like this before, but this is something we want to do for a long time, and we'll probably do more of it. So if you guys have other questions for us, please feel free to drop them in the comments.
Ooh, that would be fun if you could get questions.
Yeah, if you have questions for future, we can definitely do this kind of format in different ways in the future. So remember to subscribe, hit the notifications button, and give us a thumbs up. Risa also just launched her, she launched her YouTube channel a very long time ago, but like didn't do anything with it until quite recently. So she's just started posting new videos. So when you guys get a chance, definitely check out her channel. I think you can find her
Risa Pilates.
Risa Pilates? Yes, you'll find her through Risa Pilates if you put that in the search bar. And I'll also drop that link in the comments or in the description below. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Thank you for joining us for our kind of intimate fitness couples questions thing. And I'll see you guys next time.